Hey, it's the Chief, Bonding with Board Games, and I'm going to be unboxing Target for today. Target for today is like an upgraded version of B-17 Queen of the Skies from Avalon Hill back in 1983, one of my favorite games. Now, fan Gary Brinson has been following my session reports. I've put my Patreon supporters, which he is one of, onto the plane. Now, he's not on it yet, but he's been doing all my after-action reports. And he said, Chief, you got to try this out. I knew Steve Dixon was the designer, also Bob Best. Yes, Bob Best. And in this game, you're not only the B-17 bomber or the crew thereof, you can also be on a B-24. And it's updated. It's, I can't say modernized, but the counters, it's got counters instead of cards. But I've never actually seen inside the box. So let me unbox this. Thanks to Gary Brinson for sending this along, and thanks for Legion Games for producing it. I've heard a lot of great things about this game. All right, let's get over top and unshrink it, baby. We're going to unshrink it. See, Target for today, Bombers over the Reich, 1942 to 45. So, let's see, we've got the shrink on. We'll turn her here a little bit, and we'll bring her all the way over, and I'll rip this shrink off in a little bit. So again, we can see a few things, and let me slide her down a little bit. So again, you can see the 24 and the silhouette of the B-17, that gorgeous tall tail. You can see we're going to have counters to display the different German fighters, fighter bombers that will be attacking the heavies. So you've got the battle board map. We've got bomber cards, so you can get different bombers in is what it looks like. And you can see, of course, number of players. It's designed for one. This is a solitaire game. Game complexity here is considered medium-high. Interesting. Solitaire suitability all the way to the top. All right, we got the shrink off. So let's go ahead and just see what is inside here. All right, we've got, what is that, a 10-sided die? Yes, and maybe another one, and then some 6-sided die and some bags. All right, and sorry, you're going to maybe hear the neighbor's mower in the background. I cannot control that. So we've got rules of play, and this is fairly thick. How many pages? 44 pages. All right, so let's see. Interesting. So it looks like non-color. It's all just black and white. Not a lot of pictures going on here. Okay, here's some, but everything's black and white. Okay, so I'll get that off to the side. Pilot's flight operations instructions. For Army models B-17F and G. Okay, the YB-40 was like the upgunned beast. It carried no bombs, and it had like twin 50s in the waist and the radio room, maybe even another ball turret. I can't remember. B-24 D and J. I don't know a lot about the B-24, so that will be interesting. Let's see, so it looks, you know, they've done it like period piece, almost like it looks like something you would get as military orders. They've even put up here, what is this, restricted for official use only. All right. Interesting. Goodness. Not a good day to be a bombardier or a navigator. All right, so I won't go through all this, but you've got a lot of tweaks that you can do. So that's upside down. What do we got here? Game tables. Beautiful shot again from underneath. That looks like, I don't know, what kind of B-17 is that? It's got the newer tail ball. All right, let's see here. So we've got pre-mission steps. Nice. All right, chart-heavy game. So if you've seen any of my session run-throughs with B-17 Queen of the Skies, that's what this game is based on. But there, the charts are color coordinated, and you're just always flipping kind of through them in your hands. So we'll have to see how this all works. Okay, let me get that around. Secret, Combined Strategic Targets Committee, Daylight Strategic Bombing Campaign. Okay, these are the, and I never know if I'm saying it right, the Gazetteer, I don't know. When you're headed to a target, this tells you kind of how rough each zone is as you approach the target, and then as you're over the target. And that's exactly, so you're doing a die roll. Well, that's kind of cool. So Norden bomb site. So you'll roll a die, and it looks like you're looking at the year that you're in, and I guess wow, it's on steroids here. So you've got massive targets. It looks like it's based on a lot of different stuff, like which campaign, maybe even where you're flying from. I know the 15th Air Force flew out of like the Mediterranean or South Italy there. Interesting. Okay. Again, there's tons of these. Goodness. And this is what I'm used to. So these are the lists. -2 would be -2 off the die. W would mean you're over water. F, you're over France. G over Germany. Looks like Belgium's in there. We'll have to see. So, wow. Holy moly. Look at this. You know, I have been talking to Bongo Gorilla. He's one of my, he actually sent this. And he was talking about how there's all these different campaigns you can do that are based on the year. And I think which air group you're with, 8th, 15th. Wow, so here's 42 Bomber Group Game Formation Board. Okay, the Game Formation Board. So maybe you got to form up and fly out. It kind of feels like wax paper. The YB40 placement sheet. Feels like it opens. There we go. Wow, okay, so these are the different views of the flights of the bomber wings as they would go out. This is very similar to the, I don't know what they call it, but the battle board where you've got your crew, and if you take damage, it's marked off. I'm not sure. Fire extinguishers, what it looks like. Interesting. So here's a B-24J. That was for the YB-40 over there. So you'll see a B-24. You'll see their wing formations. A B-24D. All right. The B-17G. So this should be silver. It's got a chin turret and an upgraded ball turret, if I remember right. A little easier to control. Okay. The B-17F. This is more of your standard B-17. Nice. I don't know about more of your standard. It didn't have a chin turret. Okay. Now this will be interesting. So you have counters for your airplanes that are going to be coming in at you in waves. So these are the FW-190s primarily, ME-262, JU-88, ME-163. Okay, let's see. Wow, the Hinkle 162, the BF, or they've got Messerschmitt ME-109. Okay, nothing on the back. Interesting. Interesting. If I remember right, there it is, the long-nosed, high-altitude FW-190, basically the TA-152. I shouldn't say basically, it's, I think, the concept, but totally different airplane. All right, some counters, and here are your different crew members. Here's wounded and lightly wounded and killed in action and frostbite and okay, single-sided. Interesting. Aces, ace German fighter pilots that are coming for you, green ones. Very familiar. So here is your log sheet. Interesting. These were a pad of paper in B-17. So it looks like you're tracking your nose gun ammunition, the crew, where they're positioned at, name, status, your notes. Same thing for the G. So right off the bat, I think you'll see where you're going to have more information. That's weird, though. It starts with the radio, left cheek, right cheek, top turret, chin turret. I guess they're just going up in ammo. I'm used to seeing it walk down based on, you know, nose, cheeks, and then it's port and starboard. Okay. Alrighty. And the B-24 D and the B-24J. The YB-40 is just guns, guns, and more guns. Yeah, chin turret, top turret 2 is where the radio room was. Of course, ball turret, twin guns in the starboard and port waist. And then the tail turret. It's interesting, they call it left waist, right waist. Okay, maybe I'm getting too old school. Mission results log. Group game assignment sheet. Interesting. Okay. Single-sided. Group game. Oh, that was 42. This one's 43. This would be your mission log. So every mission you go on. In a regular B-17, you had to survive 25. This takes you up to 35. The longer the war went on, the longer the crews had to fly. It got safer a little bit in the later years, but flak was always deadly. Okay, single-sided. Zone worksheet. Not used to a zone worksheet. Don't know what that is. Blue paper. And these are little plain boards. So they're almost like postcard style. So you can see your B-24s and your different style B-17s. And here's the YB-40, I believe, maybe. Can I see another turret? I think so. Okay. One-sided. Now, here's a mounted board. So this will open up. Oh, okay, hold on. Let me put a B-17F. So you can just add in whichever plane you're flying, whichever heavy. And these, so you can see the whole thing here. Let me get it in. Let me clean this up. All right. So these are the clock positions that the fighters, the German fighters, would come in at the B-17. So level, high, low. Okay. And then same deal here, but a little bit high, level, low. Interesting how they're doing it. Come here. Here's your vertical climb, vertical dive. 6 o'clock. And then your 9, level, high, low. Interesting. Okay. I don't know why it throws me off a little. I guess I'm so used to, so in the original game you had cards, and then I should come here so I don't shade. You would have cards, and then the card would go here for high, level would be right on the board, like halfway, and low would be off the board, and they would come in. So here they're not moving around, but like here, that's definitely feels to me like high, level, low. Vertical climb, I would think, would be at the bottom coming up, and vertical dive would have been on top, stacked. That's just me being nitpicky, I guess. All right, that is your unboxing. This is nice. I like how the plane card just fits in there. And it looks like it's going to be about the same representation as the fighter, so it's on the same scale. Cool. I don't know, what is it, 1/200th? All right. That is an unboxing of Target for today. Boom. Hopefully you can keep your plane alive and your crew.